Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different connections, not just to the originals and the prequels, but also Star Wars Rebels, the hit animated TV series by Dave Filoni. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about this film that a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing is, of course, exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to utilize all of the different connections to the prequels, the originals, and even Star Wars Rebels. With, of course, the return of Rey and Kylo Ren being the focus of this story, there's also going to be a lot of things going on in the background that really does extend of what we saw in the prequels, originals, and Star Wars Rebels, of course. Now, these past couple of weeks ago, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting involving the characters of Rey and Ahsoka Tano. Specifically, a description of Rey on a large battlefield where it's described that she is taking down a large First Order antenna just next to the First Order headquarters that is sending out a signal for reinforcements. It said that as the antenna is collapsing, First Order troopers are coming in on Rey's position, where it said that the troopers are described to be pushed away into the air by the character codenamed AT, that is an older female Togruta and even has a lightsaber hilt attached to her belt. It's said to be the character of Ahsoka Tano having a quick scene with Rey, saving her from the troopers before she moves on. The next goes over the AT character walking into the distance, force pushing other troopers out of Rey's way from any danger, and allowing Rey to take down the First Order antenna successfully. It's described that this prevents the First Order reinforcements from coming, and gives the Resistance leverage to the battle. So I want to go over a couple of parts about all of this. Now, we do know that Ahsoka Tano is a very well-respected character within the Star Wars franchise. It is a very much beloved character among many hardcore Star Wars fans, not just within Rebels, but also within the Clone Wars. And we do know that Dave Filoni is, of course, directing a lot of episodes of The Mandalorian, and there's a lot of talk that Ahsoka Tano is going to be having a little bit of a role in the TV series coming out this November. However, when it comes to Star Wars Episode 9, this character codenamed AT without a doubt stands for Ahsoka Tano, since it is an older female Togruta with a lightsaber hilt attached to her belt, where she uses the Force against a pair of stormtroopers that were coming in on Rey's position. Now, these stormtroopers are described to be colored red, and they are actually dubbed as the Red Fury. Now, the Red Stormtroopers, we're not quite sure exactly who they take orders from. There's a lot of people thinking that maybe they take orders from the Knights of Ren specifically. That's a big possibility, but nonetheless, this First Order antenna that Rey has to take down, it seems like it really is a very interesting point for the Resistance in order to get leverage against the actual First Order in, of course, the final battle within the third act of the movie. So, what I like so much about this is that Ahsoka Tano essentially saves Rey and allows her to take down this antenna successfully, preventing any First Order reinforcements coming in on their position and to this unknown world. Now, in case you guys did not know, the First Order headquarters, from what we have learned, is actually an old First Order headquarters that was abandoned by Supreme Leader Snoke. Initially, the First Order was going to have their headquarters reside on a planet in the Outer Rim, before Snoke made the decision to go mobile. So, going mobile in space, was in the form of the Supremacy ship, which we saw pretty much was destroyed and obliterated by Holdo in The Last Jedi. So with that being pretty much out of the equation, I'm pretty sure now that Kylo Ren has learned his lesson from that, and now he wants to reside on a planet. Makes sense, right? So when we look at Star Wars as a whole, we can already see how JJ is not only tying this into the prequels, the originals, but also animated TV series like the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. Is this a bad or a good thing? I've heard this plenty of times from people, and it seems to be a mixed bag of how they're trying to really tie this into Star Wars Rebels as well. So with that being said, I think it's a great move. I think it's a move and a step in the right direction for Star Wars. I think that it's really going to make Star Wars Rebels feel more interconnected and really more based within the actual canon and lore if you connect it to the real movies themselves within the Skywalker saga. It feels more special in my opinion. Not only that, I think it's going to convince more people to go ahead and watch the TV series after they watch Star Wars Episode 9, seeing all of these different connections to Star Wars Rebels, the Clone Wars, I mean, you name it, right? So, the thing that I like so much about this movie so far, especially from watching the teaser, is that there's going to be a lot of emotion. There's actually said to be a lot of sacrifices and losses in this movie, and it's going to be a war to end all wars, as said by John Boyega, and what J.J. Abrams plans to do is to really end this movie with a bang. And this, by the way, is the final film of the Skywalker saga. It's not the end of Star Wars, don't get mixed up with that, but it is the end of course, the Skywalker saga, and this is it. So this movie really does have to prove itself, and really does have to inspire people for the future of the Star Wars franchise, and where things are going with the new Star Wars trilogy and stuff like that. So what do you guys make about all of this? Let me know what you think below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.